Master, I have important information for you. Once you enter this portal, my analysis indicates a 0% chance that you will be able to return unless you are able to vanquish your foe. Are you ready to proceed? Understood. Know that even in the place that lies beyond this portal, I will be with you. And Master, good luck. Ah, so you've decided to meet your end in battle after all. It pleased me greatly to see such misplaced valor, human. Take a moment to appreciate your surroundings, for where we stand shall serve as your tomb for eternity. The hate for the gods that has boiled in my veins. You will taste all of it in the bite of my blade. The only question left is how long you will manage to remain standing before I take your life. Try to keep it interesting for me, would you? And when you do fall, know that your world and everything in it is mine to dominate. Mine to subjugate, mine to rule. When I finish with you, you can take solace in knowing your friends and kin will soon follow, as I wipe all who oppose me from the face of this world. It won't be long now. At last, the almighty power I've sought for millennia. I will take the Triforce for my own. And the world shall be under my foot for eternity. Here it is, the final fight with Demise. This fight is pretty awesome, if you do ask me. As you can see, you cannot currently charge up Skyward Strikes, because he basically controls everything here, which is kind of suck for you. And this boss, if you know how to do it, it's really not that bad, but if you're mediocre at it, it can be rather difficult, and sometimes he does crap like that, which I do not pleased by, apparently, which, that didn't even make sense. And, yeah, this boss is possible to beat very, very quickly, if you know exactly how to do it. I do not know exactly how to do it, so I am not going to be doing a 20-second speedrun of this boss. But, regardless. That was weird. He just tried to swing at me and he just whiffed it. He is the whiff king. But that is okay. As you can tell, this boss I find rather interesting. I'm actually going to quickly talk to Blue Lady, target lock Demise. This eternal being has conquered time itself and is the source of all monsters. According to tales passed down through generations, it appears differently in each epoch and to each person who lays eyes on it. I thought that was extremely interesting the first time I read that, because obviously he looks a little bit like Ganondorf, because he's kind of like the source of evil and Ganondorf is like the evil later on. So I imagine they're in some way related to each other. And I don't know, when I read that, I thought it was really interesting. Because it's like, this is obviously the way Link sees him then. And then, further down the line, he starts to just straight up take on the form of how Link sees him. Because obviously, to an extent, this looks like Ganondorf. Obviously it's not exact, but it's fairly close. Like, regardless though. Soon, I can't remember exactly how many hits he takes, that many, he'll move on to his second phase. This second phase, suddenly there is crazy weather, and he charges up his sword, which already you're like, oh, and you cannot charge yours yet, which sucks. And you're going to want to try and not let that happen. Once he shoots his, you preferably would want to charge up yours, but instead I decided to lose targeting and all that. If you get too far away, usually he'll charge you, or he'll try to do his own Skyward Strike type thing. If you Skyward Strike, which apparently it finally worked to charge just now, you can stun him, and you can also cancel his charge, which, while you're trying to charge, I forgot to mention, usually he will try to interrupt you, and then if you can stun him, it makes everything super fast and easy, because, well, as you can see, we want to beat him down a little bit. This first time he falls down, don't fall for it. It's impossible. Like, you can't even hope to get him there. But, if you beat him a little bit more, you can stab him, and he's done. Pretty awesome of a boss fight. The setting is just amazing, and it just, I don't know, I thought it was a fitting conclusion to this game. Extraordinary. You stand as a paragon of your kind, human. You fight like no man or demon I have ever known, though this is not the end. My hate never perishes. It is born anew in a cycle with no end. I will rise again. Those like you, those who share the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero, they are eternally bound to this curse. An incarnation of my hatred shall ever follow your kind, dooming them to wander a blood-soaked sea of darkness for all time. I have confirmed the eradication of the Demon King. His residual consciousness has been absorbed into the Master Sword, and is now sealed away. You have done well. Rick, thank you. I think it's over. Finally, it's all over. Nice going, you two. You guys were totally amazing in this little adventure I like to call the Legend of Groose. That's a little joke. Joke or not, your contributions to our efforts were heroic. You have my thanks. Ah, well, you know. Just glad I could make myself useful. I'm happy things turned out okay. Hey, so things look pretty sewn up here. What do you say, guys? Ready to head back to our own time? Granny was really worried about you two. We don't want to keep the old girl in suspense too long. Blue Lady! Hylia, your grace. Or perhaps you prefer Zelda. It pleases me to know you are safe. Master, I must speak with you. Master Rick, you have successfully protected the Goddess Reborn and defeated Demise, fulfilling your role as the hero of legend. My purpose here is complete. Therefore, I ask you to dissolve our arrangement as master and servant. Drive the sword into the pedestal before you, and I will return to the sword to enter a sleep without end. Master, you have achieved the purpose you were chosen to fulfill. Please, set the sword in the pedestal and bring the goddess's mission to an end. Now, Master, it is time to conclude our necessary companionship. Hear me. My purpose was to obey the command of the goddess and lead you, the chosen hero of this land, on your quest. When I first awoke and began this task, I perceived it as merely serving my function as a servant to her grace. However, I have come to consider the information corresponding to our time together among the most precious data I have on record. I do not have the capability to fully understand the human spirit. But now, at the end of my journey with you, as I prepare to sleep within the Master Sword forever, I experience a feeling I am unable to identify. I lack sufficient data to be sure of my conclusion, but I believe this feeling correlates closest to what you people call happiness. Our partnership is at an end, and even as we speak, I feel my consciousness fading away. Before I enter the sleep that calls me to the sword, I wish to relay to you words that I recorded many times over the course of our journey. Many have said them to you thus far, but I now wish to say them for myself. Thank you, Master. May we meet again, in another time, in another life. I'm bad. That's what I get for trying. Horrible failure. Wah wah. Ruining the moment. What? Impa, why? Come with us. Zelda, your grace, you possess the memories of the goddess. You must understand why that is not possible. I am a being of this age. My place is here. I know that, but... You must return to your own time. I will take care of the gate once you have passed through. I can't do that. You and I have been through so much together. I don't want to leave you alone. Please, Impa, come back with us. Zelda, at the command of the goddess, I passed through the gate of time. I did so to protect you and aid the fight to prevent the world's destruction. The last remnants of Demise are decaying slowly within the sword. Someone must stay behind to watch over this blade. His spirit must not reawaken. He must never be allowed to threaten the world again. This is the nature of the task given to my tribe. As a member of the Sheikah, the goddess's chosen guardians, I welcome this duty. Zelda, I shall watch over the Triforce. Its power is too great to leave in the grasp of man. Dependence on its might is an invitation to disaster. When it has served its purpose, it must be secreted away to lie dormant once again, the knowledge of its existence hidden from mortal history. These are the words the goddess spoke to me long ago. I remember them well, as you do, I'm sure. I'm so bad at reading. Meh. Do not despair, Zelda. You and I will surely meet again someday. See? I told you we'd meet again. Impa, thank you. Thank you for everything. And that was The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I love this game. So much awesome. I have 100%ed it at this point, so as far as I know, there will not be any like special bonus videos or anything like that. It was an awesome game to Let's Play. My biggest project so far, spanning like 3 times longer than... Well, I guess that's not true because Super Smash Bros, but that was a bunch of like super short episodes, so it almost didn't really count as being half as long as this. But awesome game. Definitely will be more games coming up in the future. as always with the credits, I'm gonna kind of, well, sweet, gives like a recap of the game almost. If that's what's happened. Oh yes, yes it does. This is the game from Zelda's perspective. I thought this was a really, really cool touch. It's awesome. Like, watch it while I am talking. And I might end up talking about it because I'm bad at multitasking. But this Let's Play has been awesome. Like I said, there's definitely more to come. I have a bunch of other stuff planned for the future, and I'm super excited for it. Thank you to everyone who's watched my videos along the way. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Subscribe if you haven't, because that would be the best thing ever, especially if you liked this episode. And if you only watched this one, that seems kind of weird, because this is the very last episode. But it's just been great. This game was so much fun to do. I was so excited for this game, and it was pretty much everything I hoped it would be. And yeah, now it's done. It was just fantastic. But also, I have like Facebook and Twitter if you want to like me on there or follow me. Facebook and Twitter.com/HaloMan27 respectively. I don't know, it's just, this game was awesome. I love this game. It was kind of more story-driven than a lot of the other Zelda games. There was a couple things that I wasn't a huge fan of, like, I don't know, I like the overall art style and stuff, but some of the characters I just really didn't like the look of. I didn't want to really bring it up during the game, but it's like in this game, Zelda, for example, I wasn't a huge fan of how she was designed. Like, I just feel like she could have looked a lot cooler, but I don't know, I kind of got used to it over time, obviously, because I've played this game for so many hours now, but it was just such a good game. It fit very well as, or it did a really good job of being the origin story of the Legend of Zelda series, but obviously it talks about stuff that happens even earlier than this. But this is the first real, like, Link and Zelda adventure, where they fight the original kind of Ganondorf, which then passes on to the future Links and Zeldas and stuff. But a nice little tour of Skyloft. There's Beetle's ship flying in a place where we probably never saw it fly because we never really spent that much time in the outside of Skyloft. But I don't know, it's just, I love this game. I'll probably, well, I'm not going to talk too much about like future plans, but I can definitely see myself doing another Zelda game in the future. Wink wink, nudge nudge, hint hint. Potentially. We'll see. Fun fact though, as this was the 25th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, or this game was released as the anniversary, my next Let's Play is also an anniversary game, and that is all the information I'll be giving about it until it actually comes out, which that should be fairly soon, so look forward to it if you're a fan of mine, which I hope you are, because that would be awesome. And yeah, I'm always thankful to all my fans, if I can even say that, because I don't know. It's always weird for me, because I always assume people don't like me, so it's like people that do, it's like, what? But anywho, like I said, there's not really much more review to be had about this game. I love the entire game. I loved the game as a whole. There was a couple side things that I wasn't a huge fan of, but those were side things. Like, I loved the main story of it pretty much all the way through. And this Let's Play went fairly well, aside from a couple places where I just kind of sucked horribly at everything. But I don't know. I'm glad I did this game. I hope I can continue to be doing games, and hopefully you guys enjoy them forever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm just gonna say more hopefullys. I don't know. Hopefully I learn how to speak. Hopefully I learn how to read. That's a big thing. It's like every dramatic moment in the game, I screw up at least 3 words and just weep silently as, like, I move on through the cutscene, and it's like, oh, I ruin everything. But special thanks to Yoshiki Haruhana and those other guys too, but GG. Good work, design team. This game is kind of ridiculous because it can be beaten in like 7 hours. Maybe it was 4. I can't even remember. I think the current world record is held by someone called TL Ozer. He's a beast at this game, and I am not, but I still played it. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I showed off basically everything notable worth showing off. So, hopefully none of you are sitting there like, wow, you did a terrible job. And hopefully I can actually continue to not do a terrible job later on. There's the final shot of the Master Sword. And I guess there isn't really much more to say. This game is just awesome. Thanks for sticking with me through this Let's Play. And yeah, thank you to Nintendo for making this awesome game. And the Triforce still looks as awesome as ever, because it just looks so cool. I don't know, it's so simple, but awesome. So, I guess, since this is basically the end, this has been Halo Man 27. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, everybody. Look around us. As a child, I always dreamed of a world below. I wanted to see the surface with my own eyes, and feel the land's warm breeze on my skin. I think I want to live here. I always want to feel solid ground beneath my feet. See the clouds above my head, and watch over the Triforce. What about you? What will you do now?